Hi everyone, my name is Mohit. Welcome to Not Just Advice, a channel where I help you improve your French language abilities, not just by giving you advice, but by working along with you with the help of practical working sessions. Here is the French article that we're going to read today. It's from a very famous French newspaper called 20 Minutes. As a bonus to this video, what I've also done is included all the témoignages, which is basically the testimonials in the form of French native audios. So not only you're going to read along with me, but you're also going to listen along to the témoignages, and you'll improve your listening and reading comprehension at the same time. So let's get started. So let's begin by analyzing the title of this video, Dark Kitchens. J'ai déménagé car ma vie était devenue un enfer. Just for context, dark kitchens are basically just the kitchens where you cook food only to deliver food to your customers, and most likely these restaurants have an online presence. So let's analyze the title. J'ai déménagé car ma vie était devenue un enfer. I moved out because my life had become a hell. So let's dive in. Certains de nos lecteurs vivant près d'établissements de restauration livrés se plaignent des nuisances sonores, notamment à cause de va-et-vient de scooters. D'accord? Some of our readers, certains de nos lecteurs, vivant près d'établissements de restauration livrés, living close to delivery restaurant establishments, se plaignent, basically comes from se plaindre, which means to complain about what? Des nuisances sonores, of noisy disturbances, des nuisances sonores, notably, à cause de what? À cause, because of va-et-vient de scooter. What is va-et-vient? Coming and going to and fro is basically va-et-vient. So in English, we have to and fro. In French, we have va-et-vient. Okay? So from this small subtitle, we understand that some of the readers of this newspaper who live close to the restaurants which deliver such food are complaining of noisy disturbances because of going and coming of scooters. That's what this article is about, okay? So I've divided this article in 3 parts, and at the end of each part, I'll be asking you a simple question, and I'm sure if you pay attention, you'll be able to answer that question without problems. At the end of this video, I have a bonus for you, so keep watching till the end. Let's begin by analyzing the first part. C'est le revers de la médaille. It's the opposite side of the story. What story? We'll see. Bien aidé par les mesures de confinement, la restauration livrée a connu un boom ces dernières années. Very well helped by the measures of lockdown, confinement, la restauration livrée, the delivery side of restaurants, a connu un boom, has seen a success, a boom, has seen or has recognized a boom, okay? Ces dernières années, these last few years. Why? Because of the lockdown, because of the pandemic. Avec comme corollaire logique, and as a logical consequence to it, la hausse des nuisances liées aux livraisons, la increase. The hausse basically means the increase of what? Disturbances, nuisances liées aux livraisons, linked to deliveries. So as the number of deliveries are increasing, the disturbances linked to these deliveries are also increasing, okay? Un phénomène accentué par l'apparition des dark kitchens, des restaurants qui ne font que de la livraison et même des dark stores, des supermarchés sans rayon sauf dans les roues des livreurs, okay? A phenomenon which is accentuated, increased by the appearance, par l'apparition des dark kitchens. I just explained to you what dark kitchens are. Des restaurants, and they are also doing the same. The restaurants, basically dark kitchens are nothing but restaurants who only do, qui ne font que, who only do de la livraison, deliveries. So these are restaurants who only do deliveries and they do not have the dining side to it, okay? And même des dark stores, and now they're also talking in an analogical way of dark stores, basically, and they're also explaining it in the next line, des supermarchés sans rayon. The supermarkets basically look like this. Traditional supermarkets look like this. So this is an aisle, and in French we call it a rayon. Un rayon dans un supermarché basically is this, okay? But here we're talking about the supermarchés sans rayon, which means there are no aisles in these type of supermarkets, which are called dark stores. So basically, dark stores are nothing but inventory warehouses where people order online in order to get their items delivered at home. Sauf dans les roues des livreurs. Basically, they're saying the delivery exists only in the wheels of the scooters, okay, or the delivery guys. This is un livreur, this is the scooter, and un roue is basically the wheel, okay? Let's move on. Depuis, à lire les témoignages de nos lecteurs et lectrices, certains vivent un cauchemar. Ever since what? The rise of these dark stores and dark kitchens. À lire les témoignages de nos lecteurs et lectrices, reading the testimonials of readers, female and male, certains vivent un cauchemar. Some of them are living a nightmare. Certains vivent un cauchemar. Cauchemar is basically nightmare. C'est d'ailleurs le terme employé par Angélique de Courbevoie, Hauts-de-Seine, qui décrit des... What we are saying here is also the term employed by Angélique, who lives in Courbevoie. It's a part of Hauts-de-Seine, which is a department or a district in France, qui décrit, and I'll play an audio.
Rodéos urbains dans la rue, des descentes prises pour un urinoir, des trottoirs squattés par les livreurs qui stationnent et roulent dessus.
D'accord. So basically, she's saying a rodeo urbain. So basically, she's describing these delivery guys as urban rodeos dans la rue, inside the streets. Okay. Des descentes de parking prises pour un urinoir. Basically, she's saying that parking spaces and the slopes which are found in parking spaces are not taken for parking spaces, but as peeing spots by these delivery guys. So, pour un urinoir is basically a urinal, okay? The trottoirs are basically the side pavements or sidewalks on a road, squattés par les livreurs qui stationnent et roulent dessous. Dessous is basically above something. The trottoirs squattés par les livreurs, basically they are occupied by these guys who are standing and moving, station et roulent over these trottoirs, okay? So that's the end of first part, and a very simple question for you. Si vous avez compris partie 1 de l'article dont nous avons discuté, pouvez-vous répondre à la question suivante. Quelle est la signification de l'expression suivante? Le reverse de la médaille. Let's begin with the second part. Conversation bruyante et musique. Okay. Nikita indique habiter au-dessous d'une dark kitchen et elle est témoin d'un incessant et bruyant balai. Nikita, that's another reader who has testified something. She basically lives, au-dessous is basically above something, d'une dark kitchen. Au-dessous de what? A dark kitchen. She lives right above a dark kitchen. Et elle est témoin d'un incessant et bruyant ballet. And she is witness to a continuous and noisy ballet dance of these delivery guys. Okay? And I'll play what she says.
Même quand leurs moteurs sont éteints, les livreurs sont à l'origine de nuisances, conversations bruyantes, musique, films sur les smartphones et, parfois, altercations entre eux.
Okay. So she's saying, même quand leurs moteurs sont éteints, meaning even when they're scooters, and she's referring to scooters as motor. Okay, so motor basically are motors of the scooters. Sont éteints means they're off, they're turned off. Les livreurs sont à l'origine de nuisances. The delivery guys are themselves the source of disturbances. And why is that? Conversation bruyante. Conversation is conversations. Bruyante, I just told you about, is basically noisy. Musique, they play some music on their smartphones. Films sur les smartphones. They also play some movies on their smartphones. Et parfois, and sometimes, altercation entre eux. Altercation is basically altercation, a dispute between themselves. So they are delivery guys who sometimes fight. Okay? Même topo pour Gauthier. It's the same summary for Gauthier, qui habite en face d'un restaurant d'une chaîne de restauration rapide à Montparnasse, 14e. It's the same summary for Gauthier, who lives en face de, basically is in front of, a restaurant of fast food chain d'une chaîne de restauration rapide à Montparnasse. Montparnasse is a region in the 14th arrondissement, most likely of Paris region. What does he have to say? Let's listen to it.
Les nuits sont devenues très compliquées, car si le restaurant ferme aux alentours de minuit, la livraison, elle, continue jusqu'à environ de 5 à 6 h. Durant toute la nuit, on peut avoir jusqu'à 1 ou 2 démarrages de scooter toutes les 2-3 minutes.
Okay. So Gautier is basically saying the nights have become very complicated. Les nuits sont devenues très compliquées car si le restaurant ferme, even if the restaurant closes around midnight or alentour de minuit, la livraison, the delivery, and L here is referring to la livraison and it's a stress pronoun, continue jusqu'au environ 5-6 heures. 5-6 heures in French or in 24-hour format means 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning. So here is saying, even if the restaurants, they close around midnight, the delivery guys and the deliveries, they continue till 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning and hence they cause me disturbances. And the nights have become complicated because of those, okay? Durant toute la nuit, on peut avoir jusqu'à 1 ou 2 démarrages de scooter toutes les 2-3 minutes. What is démarrage? Démarrage de scooter is basically starting of scooter and that makes a noise, okay? Bram, bram. So during entire night, durant toute la nuit, we could have up to 1 or 2 starting of these scooters. Toutes les 2-3 minutes, every 2 to 3 minutes, we have 1 or 2 scooter which is starting and hence that is causing me disturbances and the nights will become complicated because of that, okay? Une situation à ce point insupportable qu'il a décidé de déménager dans un endroit très calme en banlieue. Okay, so here he's saying the situation had become unbearable, insupportable à ce point, to such an extent qu'il a décidé that he decided de déménager, to move out, where? To move out into un endroit, a place, a location très calme, very calm in banlieue. Banlieue is basically the suburbs of a city. Suburbs usually are far away from the hustle and bustle of the main downtown and hence they're usually calmer and don't have a lot of noises, okay? Même chose pour Léo, qui a quitté définitivement Paris et la région parisienne en grande partie après l'installation d'une dark kitchen en bas de chez lui, okay? It's the same thing for Leo, who has permanently quitté définitivement Paris et la région parisienne, Paris and the region parisienne, okay? Largely after the installation or establishment of a dark kitchen below where he lives, okay? Chez lui is basically describing his own place, chez his place, chez Leo, okay? Louis is referring to Leo. Let's listen to what Leo has to say.
Ma vie était devenue un enfer, et je ne supportais plus de voir à quel point Paris se transformait en grande zone logistique de livraison sans vie.
Okay, so he's saying, and this title comes from here, that his life had become a hell and he could not anymore support to see to what extent Paris has become or transformed into a logistical zone of delivery guys and deliveries without life, okay? So that's the end of part 2 and now I invite you to answer the simple question. Pouvez-vous expliquer la signification de mon banlieue? J'attends vos réponses dans les commentaires. Okay, let's move on. Let's start the third part. Nos lecteurs avancent également leurs idées pour réduire les nuisances. Okay, so there's a shift in the type of things that we see in this article. Earlier we were seeing complaints of the readers. Now what we're seeing is basically some sort of ideas to reduce this disturbances, okay? Let's listen to the first témoignage.
Une pizzeria à côté de chez moi est équipée de scooters électriques.
Une pizzeria à côté de chez moi means a pizzeria next to my place est équipée is equipped with electric scooters, de scooters électriques. Souligne, underlines, Sophie. Okay, so this is the voice of Sophie, the Nanterre. Nanterre is also a region in the department of Haute-de-Seine en France. And she adds to this.
Zéro nuisance de ce restaurant.
There is no disturbance of this restaurant. Why? Because the scooters are electric and electric scooters, we know for a fact that they don't make as much noise. Mais ce n'est pas si simple. Puisque les livreurs étant auto-entrepreneurs, c'est à eux de s'acheter leurs moyens de locomotion. OK? So we say, it's not that simple, mais ce n'est pas si simple. Puisque les livreurs étant auto-entrepreneurs, because these delivery guys are self-employed, it's up them to buy their own vehicles for movement, OK? Or, un scooter thermique coûte bien moins cher qu'un électrique, OK? But a scooter thermique, which is basically a conventional scooter run by petrol or diesel, coûte bien moins cher, is basically very less costly than a scooter electric. An electric is basically a scooter electric. Here, basically, the readers are giving us an argument that given the electric scooters are way more costlier than the conventional scooters, it's very difficult for the delivery guys themselves to buy those scooters, and hence the increase in number of disturbances caused by these. Okay? Les lecteurs et lectrices n'oublient pas les livreurs eux-mêmes. The readers, male and female, don't forget the delivery guys themselves. So basically, let's hear what this guy has to say or this girl has to say.
Les pauvres mangent par terre dans la rue faute de pouvoir s'asseoir quelque part.
Okay, so she's saying les pauvres. She's referring to these guys as the poor guys. She's speaking with them. Mangent par terre dans la rue faute de pouvoir s'asseoir quelque part. These poor guys, they sit on the ground to eat their food. Mangent par terre, eat on the ground. Dans la rue, faute de pouvoir s'asseoir quelque part. In the street, not being able to, for the lack of, faute de, not being able to sit somewhere. Sandine Amondi. Sandine is basically an expression of being indignant or very furious about something. She is furious that these guys do not have the necessary facilities. Let's continue to listen to her testimony.
Les hivers, ils attendent des heures dehors sans pouvoir se réchauffer. C'est honteux.
L'hiver, or les hivers, in the winters, ils attendent, they wait des heures for hours. Dehors means outside, sans pouvoir se réchauffer, without being able to warm themselves up, okay? C'est honteux, it's shameful. So let's listen to what Charlotte has to say. Pour Charlotte,
il faudrait que les plateformes prennent elles-mêmes leur part dans la résolution de cette problématique, en proposant un local de rassemblement, avec toilettes, salle de pause, machine à café, point d'eau, etc.
Il faudrait, it would be necessary que les plateformes, that the platforms, the delivery platforms, prennent elles-mêmes, take on themselves leur part, basically their own part, their duty, dans la résolution de cette problématique, in the resolution of this problem, en proposant un local de rassemblement, by proposing a shelter, here local means shelter, de rassemblement. Rassemblement means gathering. So basically, she's saying that the delivery restaurants or the stores or the platform needs to ensure that there's a shelter for these delivery guys to gather, okay? With what? Avec toilette, with some toilets, a salle de pause, waiting room, machine à café, coffee machines, point d'eau, etc. Point d'eau is basically water points or water outlets. So that brings us to the end of the third part. Let's see if you've understood it with the help of a simple question. Quel est le sentiment évoqué par Amandine? What is the sentiment that is evoked by Amandine? Can you answer this question? Given you've made it to the end of this video, I have two bonuses for you. One, I've compiled this vocabulary list which you can refer if you want to improve your vocabulary. The second bonus that I have for you today is basically a grammar tip. So there are more than one negations possible in French. The first is the ne pas variation, which is very commonly used. The ne plus variation is also very commonly used in French, but is less known. So from the article, we have the sentence, ma vie était devenue un enfer, je ne supportais plus. Je ne supportais plus is the negation that I'm talking about. So he couldn't stand anymore to see to what extent Paris had become that city, okay? So this is used to describe actions which we do not do anymore, but we used to do it in the past. So let's say I want to say I don't eat. So let's say I want to say I don't eat meat anymore. So je ne mange plus de la viande, which means I used to eat it, but I do not eat it anymore. Je ne vais plus au cinéma. I used to go to the cinema, but I don't go there anymore. Okay? If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a like. Subscribe to my channel for more such content, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.